In 2 Samuel chapter 9, verses 1 through 13, we see a story that illustrates what the kindness of God looks like. There are two main characters in this passage. There's David, and here's a funny name, Mephibosheth. And Mephibosheth was the only surviving son of Jonathan, Saul's grandchild. When we come to the 9th chapter, David has been on the throne for close to 15 years. And it's clear that David remembered the covenant he made with Jonathan. He understood the goodness that had been given him by God. And David asked his response to this, are there any family members left from Saul? Now it's interesting. He didn't ask if there's anyone alive that he might take out vengeance upon or possibly eliminate them, but instead that he might show God's kindness upon those whom had not been kind to him. Remember, that's the context of this. David could have said, is there any alive from the family of the man who twice tried to kill me with a spear? Any alive who robbed me from my wife? Any alive who pursued me for 15 years trying to kill me? Any alive of the man who made my life so miserable that I turned my back on God? Why do you ask, David? Oh, well, I ask so that I might shower God's loving kindness upon a descendant of his. That's pretty radical stuff. We are told that David desired to do so for Jonathan's sake. And what this reveals to us is that it wasn't based upon feelings. It was based on a promise he made to Jonathan. This desire to bless an enemy's grandson was based upon a promise made to another. Hey, saints, doing what is right based on our feelings is a slippery slope. We must not allow our feelings to dictate what is right with our heart. Our obedience is based upon a promise made to our friend Jesus. Now let's look at this fellow Mephibosheth for a second. Pay close attention to him as you find out that he fits the profile of the person today whom God desires to distribute his kindness towards. First, his name Mephibosheth, well, it came to be recognized as shameful one. Second, he was lame in his feet. He had been dropped as a result of a fall and left him lame in childbirth. Both feet. Gone from his memories was a hope that was someday he would be prince of Israel. Third, we note that his whereabouts, Mephibosheth was living in someone else's house in an area known as barrenness. David wants to show the kindness and greatness of God. And to do so, he finds a person so unworthy of it. No better place to find it. So how about it? You take a person to demonstrate the love of God towards, one who has been dropped by this world and left him crippled and afraid. Mephibosheth, David called out. He had heard his name, Mephibosheth had, many times, but it had been years he'd heard it spoke with such warm and care and love. David saw in Mephibosheth the resemblance of a man he loved more than a brother. That is what God sees when he looks at our struggles and failures. Oh, I see through the eyes of my son. Have you been dropped? Life left you crippled? Do you hear him call out your name? He's not angry. He wants you to come back. He wants to come into your life. He wants to take you back. Saints, let's love and reach people like this. This is from Pastor Dale. Blessings.